Hi there, my name is Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I kind of boomed with it this morning when I made this video. I got like a good, 10 minutes into it, and I was on a great roll. Didn't fluff anything. It was just perfect. Everything just kept blah, blah. And then I noticed I made one small error. I forgot to hit the record button. Normally I notice 30 seconds. It was like 10 minutes, like literally 10 minutes. So this video, we're going to be talking about those little scamps at Screenrant. They've noticed Doctor Who. They've noticed two things about Doctor Who. The first thing they notice is that in some ways it's changed. Since 1963. In some way it's changed. And the second thing they notice is in some ways it hasn't. So this is a Holmesian-like deduction that we are going to be reading. Because look, Screenrant, they're not the brightest bulbs in the batch, in the patch. Yeah, they're not the smartest. They're not the smartest campers, are they? So I think it'll be a reasonably funny article to read as they try and string together a coherent thought, which I think they're incapable of doing, about a subject they know very little about, so I think we'll have a good laugh at that. Before we get there, though, can I ask you guys, can you hit the like button? Can you hit the share button? But mostly, hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. I am ridiculously grateful for everybody subscribing. And if you're subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube is peeling off my subscribers every freaking day. Honestly, what I'm saying isn't so subversive. YouTube is not. I'm just saying I kind of like Doctor Who and I like to take the piss out of things and I like boobies. Okay, that's basically my message, right? The message on my channel. It doesn't seem to be like something you should be censoring. But no, YouTube keeps putting on subscribe. So if you're subscribed, make sure you still subscribe. If you subscribe, you can enter my weekly competitions. The prize this week is Judge Dredd, The Complete Case Files, Volume 17. This is a cool one. This has the Judgment Day storyline, which is Judge Dredd and a bunch of judges from around the world have to get together against this world-destroying evil. Listen, I'm going to spoil it for you. The world-destroying evil doesn't destroy the world, and they go through about another 4 or 5 of them. From that story happened to this story happened. The best bit about this story is it's a team-up between Judge Dredd and Johnny Alpha, Strontian Dog. Really freaking fun book. I really, really like it. All you need to do to win it, subscribe to the channel, subscribe, and in the comments, leave the hashtag Sabbat Shalom. Sabbat Shalom. Sabbat is the name of the villain, and Shalom is something we say here in Israel, means peace, means hello, means goodbye. But we have an expression. We say Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom is what we say on Friday nights, on Saturdays, because it is a Sabbath, and Shabbat is the Jewish word for Sabbath. And so people just say this is even not religious people. Everybody's like, it's kind of a thing. So I'm saying Sabbat Shalom. Sabbat Shalom is the hashtag. Go check the video notes. It has everything in the video notes you need to win this fantastic prize. Prize is going to be given away next week, which I guess is the 29th of November. Whoa, December's coming, which means Christmas is coming. And I know I'm a rabbi, I know I'm a bit Jewy, but I freaking love Christmas. Yeah, I want to get together a whole Christmassy week or couple of weeks on all the other channels, then put it together. I have to tell them about it. Anyway, fine. While you check out the video notes, by the way, could you also check out the link? The link is the first thing you're going to see. It's a link to my my Indiegogo campaign. If you go and check my Twitter, it's in the header. This is the Indiegogo campaign. It is for not one but 2 fantastic comic books. They are completely finished. One is like a stonking 180 pages of story and you get a full script. The other one is just super fun. It's a love letter to Telefancy of the 1960s, and if you know my channel, you know I freaking love Telefancy of the 1960s. Something else I like is attractive people, attractive ladies. I want to share that love with you. Anybody joining the mailing list, over here you get one of these 4 very artistic, very tasteful, very good art cards in the range for the male gaze. You get anywhere with any purchase. Now listen, I understand things are tight. We're living in a wacky times. We are living in very strange times. If you want to help me out, and thank you very much. Genuinely, thank you very much for anybody who wants to help me out. If you could join the mailing list anyway, because it's just a numbers game. The more people join, the better you do. And if you could share the campaign, that is just absolutely fantastic. And however pathetically grateful I am for you subscribing, times that by 1,000,000, and that's how grateful I am for you. Help me out with this campaign. Thank you very much. Fine. So let's look at this article from Screenrant. Who writes the headline, Doctor Who, 5-way it changed from the original run. and 5 ways it stayed the same. Really? I honestly, it's 57 freaking years old. Everything 57 years old changes in some way and stays the same in some way. So I just think this is, it doesn't make you sound very clever, Screenrant, which is probably why they like the Jodie Whittaker. They like the Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who quite so much, because, I think you can say many things about the Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who. That intellectual giant, no, not so much. She's more like the embarrassing idiot man-child, or woman-child in her case, of the of the Doctors now, isn't she? Okay, so let's read the article. So, since Doctor Who was revived in 2005, it has made many changes to the original. Was it revived? Kinda. The thing is, I think the reason Doctor Who came back is because it never really died, right? It was chief fandom time for me when the Wilderness years, 89 to 2005. And it wasn't such a bad time in fandom. Doctor Who magazine kept running, and it was actually pretty good. It's better than it is now. Firstly, we had the Virgin New Adventures, which that moved us forward continually. Then we had Big Finish, and then we had the BBC range took over from New Adventures. It really wasn't such a terrible time in fandom. It was a better time in fandom than we are in now. Okay, so I just don't feel it ever really died. I think when something dies, it's very, very hard to come back. I don't think it ever died. And I don't think it's dead yet. A lot of people do. R.I.P. Doctor Who. A lot of people think it's dead. I still think it can come back. I think it can come back, but that's because I love it so much, right? I do love it. Anyway, so it has changed from the original, but it has kept its heart and soul of the Doctor alive. Well, it did for 55 years. It did for I don't think the current era of Doctor Who did keep the heart and soul alive at all. I think it betrayed the heart and soul of it, which I think is why there's such a massive rift in fandom, and it's just so not popular at all. Just in general demographics. Doctor Who is an anomaly in many ways, but perhaps the biggest reason that the show started in 1903, ended in 1989, and was revived in 2005 as a continued original series. This is terrible writing. Okay, classic Who and New Who are essentially the same monsters. Monsters come, adventures are had, and the Doctor saves the day. But there are many changes as there are similarities. Yeah, well, listen. Built into the DNA of Doctor Who is a kind of a fearlessness, that it will take on any change. I think that fearlessness caused the first regeneration when Bill Hartnell was to continue. And I think the only reason Doctor Who could do that is because, again, it had this real fearlessness, this real cutting edge, white hot fearlessness that I think came mostly from Variety Land, but yeah, and I think just that's built into the DNA of the show. I think one of the reasons it really fails now is because it's not fearless at all. It's part of the mob. It's part of the blue Twitterati mob, and that blue Twitterati mob likes to think they're storming the beaches of Normandy, but they're not. They're not at all, are they? They're sitting in basements and screaming into the wind, generally being terrible people, right? The people who find this Doctor a hero are generally people who live on Twitter and are the worst people in the history of the world, in my humble opinion. So let's see what's changed the same, what's different. The show needed to adapt in many ways to attain this is written terribly, to attain the wants of the viewers in present-day society while remaining loyal to to its roots and existing audience members. Well, when it came back in 2005, Russell T Davies had this real innate understanding of the DNA of Doctor Who. What is Doctor Who? I think Moffat as well, to a great extent. You see it more in their interviews than in their actual TV production. They so understand Doctor Who, and it's breathtaking how much Chris Chibnall doesn't understand Doctor Who. It just, in my humble opinion. It's not very humble. Fine. So number 10, 10 out of 10. This is change. It got serious spin-offs. That's true. Listen. I really wish there was a Jagon Lightfoot spin-off in the 70s. There really could have been, if there was a will for it. I think they could have been. I think it would have done pretty well. Wouldn't it be great if Philip Hinchcliffe and Robert Holmes, when they left the series after season 14, they went off and did that? Yeah, wouldn't that be incredible? Actually, what I would have liked more is if the BBC just gave them budget, say, okay, do a 6-part adult drama for 9 p.m. Well, I wouldn't. Oh man, written by Robert Holmes, produced by Philip Hinchcliffe. I want to live in that universe. But right, yeah, you know, there were no spin-offs. Well, there were a few attempted, like K9, but they only got as far as the pilot, and I think that was actually killed more by the title sequence than anything else, which is awful, absolutely awful. Okay, and also I think you had K9 came out in his own series. Was that before 2005? I kind of think it is. Fine, Doctor Who used to be a standalone show, but after it was revived in 2005, its complex characters in the vast universe allow for spin-offs. You know, again, I think this is just Rusty Davies' real core understanding of the show. It's a family show, right? It's a family show where families come together. But, you know, those families really enjoyed it, and I think he saw potential for parts of those families to enjoy it in spin-offs. So he made, for the more adult crowd, he made Torchwood, and for the younger crowd, the children crowd, he made Sarah Jane Adventures. And so basically it straddled that entire family audience. And it was something absolutely remarkable that it was able to. I just think that is a testament to how good he was. When Sarah Jane appeared in 2006 episode School Reunion, her return confirmed she was too loved a character to cast aside. Yeah, you know, nobody knew that she was going to do as well as that. And so began the Sarah Jane Adventure in 2007, and other spin-offs including Torchwood and Class. Class was garbage. The weird thing about Class was it was set in a school, but they all looked like they were 30. Yeah, everybody working there, apart from the teachers who looked kind of the same age as the students. So that changed. I call it okay. Same. It continues to adapt. It really doesn't. Okay, Doctor Who used to be fearless. It's fearful. It's like, again, part of the mob. And the only reason to be part of the mob is if you're a terrible person or if you're full of fear. Doctor Who has survived as long as it has because of its unique circumstances. The show is constantly adapting, and I agree with that. In order to continue, the main character must change. The decision was taken. This decision to take such a drastic measure led to a successful outcome. Yeah, again, but the only reason they could take that decision because it is a fearless show. Time and again, have no limit. She's so limited. Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is so limited. Yeah, I always say that whenever one starts programming for diversity and inclusivity, when that becomes an issue, that's when you become the least diverse and the least inclusive, because the only people you're really appealing to that point is the Twitterati. Now, only about 3% of the world is on Twitter. Only about half of those are the Twitterati. So that's the tiny clump of people who you are appealing to, because they think, oh, well, if your skin color is darker than mine, you're going to want to be shown to be a suffering saint or somebody enduring oppression. When no. People, generally speaking, want to be treated like people, want to be depicted as people, and they don't want to be tokens, right? Nobody really wants to be tokens, that's just the way I think it's going. So I just don't think it's it's not adapting. It's adapting into something that's the reverse of Doctor Who, the opposite of Doctor Who, and I think that's really why it's failed. They have no limits, no say in how long the show can last. As years go by, but my God, this is written but terribly. As the years go by, it is able to keep itself relevant because of flexible nature. The worst thing any TV show can do is become relevant, because when they become relevant, it becomes irrelevant. Really, you want to be classic. You want to connect to people, but relevance. That's a buzzword for failure, absolute buzzword for failure, which is we can see by how much it's totally failed. Change, more emotional. Yeah. This is really, really true. We had hints of it in the classic run, but not so much now. So but some people might say it's gone a bit too much in the other direction. When Doctor Who became more character invested as opposed to narrative based, it naturally led to emotional storylines. And also, I just don't think writers can write without putting some kind of like romantic storyline to it. An emotional story meant it would be harder to satisfy viewers when what? An emotional story meant it would be harder to satisfy viewers when it came to companion exits. No, it'll be more satisfying. Yeah, it'll be more jarring. Listen, I one of the best companion exits. I'm saying is it was in Big Finish. Lucy Miller. You know that whole run was absolutely fantastic. It's because you love that character so much and you were so invested, into that character. How can it be? How can it be that a person would leave the Doctor? Because things happen. It's like you want to move on with life. How they simply disappear from the show's universe if they are still alive. What? This is ridiculous. Endings could no longer be anticlimactic, simple, or ordinary. They never were. What? Joe Grass leaving was never simple or anticlimactic. What? They were all kind of wrenches, weren't they? Like when they all left. I'm just like, really? I can't think of one companion where I went, where it was like, I mean, I guess you had what was it, Dodo, who left off screen, as Ben and Polly, but that was like a bit of a weird time in the production. I don't think you can really, and I think they were, was it abnormalities rather than the aberrations rather than the norm. They had to be expressive, impressive, dramatic, and worthy of the companion and the viewers. Yeah. So I don't understand what you're saying. Even the Doctor became more emotional, more human, more relatable. I don't think so. Some Doctors were, some Doctors were not. More tears, passion, outbursts, cries, rages, anguishes, and love than ever before. Listen, I have to tell you, up until the Jodie Whittaker era, I could say that every one of these people are the same character, right? They had no problem with that whatsoever. Which they're going to talk about right now. Number 7, the same. The Doctor. No. The Jodie Whittaker era is fundamentally different. She's a coward. She's cruel. She's cruel. She's stupid. I mean, that's really the bottom. One of the most terrible things. She's like stupid, makes terrible decisions, isn't very clever, and condescending and grating. Like all these things are bad together. These are bad together. And so then when you have the companions stand around and go like they did in Time Shows, "Oh, Doctor, you're the greatest ever. And which they literally did. It just feels so weird because we saw her not be the bestest ever, and we have seen better Doctors than her. Doctor Who wouldn't be Doctor Who without the Doctor, which is why many people feel this current era is just not Doctor Who, because this character is unrecognizable from the Doctor. Doctor should be a moral bloody giant. The Doctor is at heart and soul or so. And I tell you, Jodie Whittaker's terrible performance is like a wrecking ball in anything she's in, like in any scene she's in Doctor Who. In fact, when it came to problem concerning the Doctor's regeneration cycle, the problem was hardly a problem at all. Simply a flex of the alteration within the already complex, convoluted storyline. No, it was really quite easy. Oh God, why are you writing this article if you don't know anything about it? And I don't think you really like it either. It's the least that could be done for the protagonist. So regeneration, the tradition of wondering how the new Doctor would be, warming up to them. Okay, I was on board Jodie Whittaker then, looking forward to what she'll be like warming up to. I tried, okay? I really tried, but you had Chibnall putting all this like really divisive language in her mouth, and she's a reasonably divisive person as well. The tradition of warming up to them, loving them, never having, and hating to see them leave. I can't wait to see her leave. Continued. It didn't matter how many times the Doctor changed. The Doctor was a Doctor with every previous Doctor layered within, apart from this one. apart from this one, who is so fundamentally different. Again, she's a coward, she's an idiot, she's condescending, she's ineffectual. Companions. So the companions have changed, apparently. In the days of Classic Who, the companions didn't have well-rounded storylines. Yes and no. Yes and no. I do hear that criticism. But, you also had actors their performances were able to flesh out the character. Like, Harry Sullivan didn't have such a well-rounded storyline. You knew who Harry Sullivan was. Sarah Jane Smith, Leela, Sarah Kingdom. People did better at the jobs back in the day than they do now. I think that's really the bottom line. So yeah, fine. The Comanches then rolled out. Their lives outside the TARDIS were shown only when the stories began and revisited when they left. As I say, I actually love this this edition. Again, this is something Russell T Davies wrote into the DNA of the revived show. Their home lives weren't focused on, and they weren't as active as present-day Comanches. Yeah, again, this was an addition by Russell T Davies, and I think it was a really, really good one. They didn't have much of a backstory, motivation, or clarity, making their departures less memorable and dramatic. Again, no, not true at all. You had a lump in your throat when Leela left. You had a lump in your throat when Joe Grant left. You were kind of confused when Perry left. Like, what happened? Basically, when just about every companion left, you've even Liz Shaw, who didn't really connect with the audience. It's just not true. It's just not true, and it belies a complete lack of knowledge of Doctor Who. Then episodes were more narrative based. Yeah. Honestly, I think that's because it was the 63 to 89 iteration of the show was essentially aimed at 8-year-old boys and masculine type stories are more narrative based and feminine type stories are more emotional based. And again, I really think that's what Russell T Davies brought into the show, and he brought this femininity to a certain extent, and I think it opened it up incredibly. Now Chris Chibnall has changed that to excluding masculinity, right, rather than adding it in. So again, you've lost the male audience. You lost the female audience who it just isn't really connecting to this at all, and you pretty much lost everybody in between. You kept in between. You kept the not. You gained, I will say, about half of the gender fluid audience, right? So there's not that many of them, okay? There's not that many of them. And I'm like, okay. Episode 1, Narrativebased. Another difference was that many of the companions weren't only from present day, but from other planets and times. So I related to Romana. I related to Leela. Like, what? Victoria, yeah, I relate a lot to her. Same, Daleks. Okay, yeah, that's pretty. It's a pretty a simple one. The Daleks are one of the most notable, biggest villains in the enemies of the Doctor in the classic Who series. Their cold shell and piercing voices struck terror in viewers from the very first moment they were introduced, and again when they brought back. They were fantastic because they were brought back by people who knew and understood them. Nicholas Briggs and Russell T Davies. This continued into the New Who era. It didn't matter how many times it occurred. How they looked from the outside. It did matter how they looked from the outside. In fact, when you had the Teletubby Daleks, they were pretty much gone as soon as they could get rid of them. And strangely enough, to me, Teletubby Daleks look great on paper, look great in models, look great in action figures, look great in everything, apart from actually on screen. That's the only place it died in. It didn't matter how much change occurred, how they looked outside, or how they appeared to be the last of their kind. They endured. Yeah, Daleks are important. Change, inclusivity. No. I want to get a newspaper, roll it up, and hit them in there and say no. It's real. Okay, let's just backtrack this for a second. In the 70s, in the 60s and 70s, England was a predominantly white country. We had new communities coming in. The Pakistani community was big. We had the black community. They came in the 50s, and I think by and large they were being integrated into mainstream society throughout the 80s and the 90s. It really wasn't an issue anymore, right? So yeah, I think Doctor Who was reflective of the society that spawned it, which is probably a good thing. However, they whenever they could, hire an actor in a colorblind way. You had the black space pilot from. Was it not Unearthly Child? Oh, last Hartnell story. His costume ended up being used by Bosk. 10th Planet. Oh my God, that was painful. But I see that Doctor has always been reflective of the society that exists. I don't think there was really any sexuality at all in Doctor Who. In the classic era, and so I don't think you got into issues of people being gay or LGBT. You didn't get into issues of people being straight that much either. You had Leela go off and marry Dredd. You had people be heterosexual, and which is the vast majority of people. But yeah, I think Doctor Who always really appealed to. What's the word I'm looking for? People off the beaten track a little bit. If you're a minority, if you're gay, because the Doctor was an outsider. Doctor is an outsider and loves being an outsider and isn't bothered by it. Has this incredible bravery. And again, it's the bravery which I think was built into the show by Variety Lambert, right? So this idea that there is inclusivity now where there wasn't before. Okay, in 2005 to 2017, sure. Now there's exclusivity where they exclude people who are white and male, right? And exclude people who happen to believe in God, or exclude people that happen to believe, generally speaking, that gender is not fluid or sexuality isn't isn't fluid. Whereas I think Moffat and Davis were inclusive. Like, I don't think anybody really had a problem with Bill. They didn't really have a problem with the character Bill Potts. They had a problem with Bill Potts saying every 20 minutes, "Oh, do you know I'm a lesbian? Oh, I can fancy eating some carpet. Oh, I'm a bit of a lesbian." Yeah, lesbians really don't talk like that often. It'll just throw you out of it. But I get the feeling that's from a BBC edict. Yeah, I found the whole Paternoster gang, the lesbian couple at the front, just kind of annoying. And that's why I never got the Paternoster gang from a Big Finish. And it just felt like kind of shoehorned. Captain Jack at the beginning was fine. I think they're still fine. But again, I don't really think anybody cares about your sexuality, really. I just think they care about good characters that you like. And I like Captain Jack. I like John Barrowman, he just exudes for that. They got a picture of Yaz there for some reason. Yaz is a plank of wood. So if they're saying we're including characters who's a plank of bloody wood, yeah, okay, they've included it. So let's see what they've got to say. Now I pontificated on this for quite some time. Doctor Who is loved by many people, yet before New Who series began, there was hardly a minority representation in classic Doctor Who. Wrong! Wrong and wrong! Companions of Colour weren't introduced on screen until Mickey Smith's appearance in season 1. Fair enough. Honestly, if they were going to do I think there should have been a Black Doctor. It's weird that there hasn't been, but the time to do it would have been instead of Colin Baker, right? When it actually meant something, and I think you could have got a much higher quality actor as well. Who I'd love to have seen, who was actually really, really hotly tipped to be the 11th Doctor, right? Instead of Matt Smith, is Patterson Joseph, and I'd like to see Patterson Joseph either then. Or wouldn't it be great if they had him in the 80s? Go and check out this early 90s TV show called Neverwheres. It's written by Neil Gaiman, produced by Lenny Henry, and Patterson Joseph's in that playing the Marquis de Carabas, right? And I just keep thinking, wouldn't that be awesome as a Doctor? And I think with that guy as a Doctor, it might not have imploded in the state that it did. But I think they probably would have needed to get a whole new get a new script editor as well, which I think is the thing that really killed Doctor Who. The utter hatred of between Eric Saywood and I don't think John Nathan hated Saywood, at least initially. I think Saywood hated JNT. All right. So Koenigsberg wasn't introduced until Mickey Smith's appearance in season 1 of New Who. Following Mickey, more diversification. Again, this is because the makeup of society has changed, and Doctor Who reflects the makeup of society. Or at least it used to. Martha Jones, Captain Jack, Harness, Bill Potts, yeah. Okay, so that was all great. Then they got Yasmin Khan, Ryan Sinclair, a female doctor of colour. Yeah. As soon as you hit Yasmin Khan, you're just getting into tokenism. Because Yasmin has no discernible characteristic, does she? I mean, Yaz, like, she's a police officer and she's the best as ever. Like, okay, 2 years, and she was bullied and nearly committed suicide because she was Muslim. In Yorkshire. Really? Have you ever been to bloody Bradford? What is wrong with these freaking people? That never happens. Earthmen never invite their ancestors to dinner. This never happens. Yasmin can't be bullied for being Muslim in Yorkshire. That never happens. Fine. A female doctor of colour. The first person of colour acting as a master appeared in Series 12. I kind of say Roger Delgado's master was a person of colour. I'm sorry. He paid him very swarthy. Okay? If you want to tell me Delgado's master wasn't Indian, wasn't Arabic, it just seems to me that he kind of was. Especially, listen, and if you're going to do something as gross as holding up a skin colour chart between him and Sacha Dhawan, you're not going to get that much difference, are you? The episodes of New Who also became more inclusive in plot and historical elements, and more boring, because that's all they bloody cared about, because they're lecturing and they're dull. They're very, very dull. Oh, speaking of which, okay. Look at the screen, please. Look at the screen. We see Roger Delgado and we see Sacha Dhawan. Let me just zoom in, okay? So we can see this here. They look kind of as ethnic as each other to me, right? Not that we should be worrying about such a thing, but shut up about Sacha Dhawan being the first master of colour. It just doesn't really matter. I mean, and listen, you're talking about inclusivity. You want to tell me that the Ainley master wasn't massively gay? Of course he was massively gay. How much more gayer can you bloody get than the Ainley master? Like, what else do you want him to do? Do you want to have a pair of nipple rings on and sucking Antric's cock? I mean, like, what? Which apparently he did quite a lot in real life. At least that's what Matthew Waterhouse said. But like, how much gayer could Ainley's master get? And I think that's reasonably inclusive, right? The master appeared in the 1971 episode Terror of the Autons. First appeared and continued upon into many series of New Who. The master returned in series 3 of Utopia, and the Time Lord opened the fob watch in the blah blah blah. Ever since then, the master has appeared in several forms and changed. Even changed gender. Always the bringer of madness, ambiguity, and chaos. Not really. No. I guess that's what you'll think if you're an idiot who's never really seen Doctor Who. Change, romance. There is romance in Doctor Who. When the first Doctor came on screen, he should clean that off. Now, when the first Doctor came on screen, there was hardly any romance. Well, yeah, you had the Aztecs. What's her name? Kamika. What's her name? Fell in love with betrothed herself to Hartnell's Doctor. And when there was, it was momentarily and rare and a rare occurrence. Right. That can't be said for New Who. The chemistry in Rose and the 9th Doctor and 10th Doctor. Captain Jack Carter is flirting with every gender and every species. Martha, unrequited love towards the 10th Doctor. Martha and Mickey, the 11th. Yeah, I just think it's something you can't make TV drama without, right? And I don't really understand why. But, like, you can't make... I mean, honestly... I think most people go through their life without a constant romantic subplot, right? I mean, listen, I'm married, I love my wife, and I'm extremely happy with it. But I don't like talk about, how great is it, this romantic subplot in my life? No, it's just part of your bloody life. Man and Vasa, yeah, I understand. Yeah, now is it better for that? I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing some story like a companion or some kind of story without that in it. I just don't think we really need it that badly. And Big Finish does it all the time, by the way. And Big Finish, they did this a companion chronicles range. They had like a little three-story arc, and there was one with Peter Purvis, whatever his name is, the space pilot, is. He's gone. He'll come back eventually. But he was teamed up with a new companion from the 60s over 3 stories, and who was gay, right? It was a gay companion in the 60s. Really interesting way, but it wasn't the focus of the stories, right? It was something to add flavor to the story, which I think it might be a trick they're missing now. Same, the TARDIS. What and who is the Doctor without the TARDIS? One of the reasons why I'm really hoping they get rid of the TARDIS cell, the police box, because ACB. No, was it ACB, right? All cops are not nice people, of course. So, you don't want to scare the kiddywinkles with the word police, right? So I really hope they get rid of it, because I want them to detach this era of Doctor Who from Doctor Who as much as humanly possible. I would love that. I would love there to be a romantic plot with the Doctor and Yaz. I would love it. Absolutely love it. And the more that people can go, this isn't Doctor Who, the happier I am. Because for me, it was not Doctor Who. The TARDIS has been there since the beginning and continues to be a comforting presence for the Doctor, an irreplaceable piece of a home, time and relative dimension in space, fits neatly inside the TARDIS that is bigger on the inside. Yeah, look, are you just copying and pasting from Wikipedia? Yeah, I have to tell you, being a parent, my kids are older now, but being a parent over the last 10 years or so, when my kids were going through school, it just became a thing. They just copy and paste from Wikipedia. That's how they answer questions. Copy and pasting from Wikipedia. I don't think that was such a great training for life. I guess the person wrote this. Literally, it's like ship doesn't always go where the Doctor wants, but where the Doctor needs to go. Yeah, no. That was a cute thing that somebody said. Like Neil Gaiman or somebody said once, or maybe Moffat. But it's oftentimes it was just random, and they stumbled into fun and exciting adventures. Something that will never happen in the current era of Doctor Who. Them stumbling into a fun and exciting adventure. I wonder if the TARDIS materialize, they open the door and there's fun, incredible stuff going out there, and they go, I don't know. It doesn't look very diverse to me. It doesn't look really diverse enough for me to go and check out. So I think that would absolutely happen. Fine. Something else I want to absolutely happen. Go check out my my Indiegogo sign up. Can you sign up for it? Can you share it? That would be fantastic. And look, they're great comics as well. They are really absolutely great comics as well. If you're planning to make a purchase, thank you very much. My name is Celia Beckett, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. And ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop, and have yourself an absolutely fantastic day.